We go.
We're live. Woo!
Hey. All right. Okay.
Did you put OBS back on?
Yeah.
Hi guys. That's Dev, for those of you who don't know. Thank you. Let's pop you in the middle. That way. There we go. Alright, cool. Hi guys, good evening. Hopefully you can see me and you can hear me. If not, please send me a message so I can try and sort that problem out. But welcome to everybody who is joining today for the first time. And thank you those of you who are coming back for a second time. Didn't scare you away yesterday, which is good to know. So today's practice will be about 30 minutes long. And if you saw the message that I sent earlier, you will need a blanket if you have one handy. And a strap if you have one handy, but if you don't, you can always use a belt or a scarf, something else you have available. Obviously, times are difficult right now, we don't have everything to hand, so just use whatever you've got available to hand at this point in time. And today's practice will be based on gratitude, and the reason why I've chosen gratitude as the theme for today is primarily because of everything going on in the world. I feel like we just need to come back to being thankful for things that we do have. Obviously, there's an awful lot of speculation about what's going to happen. There's an awful lot of negativity surrounding things that we can't currently do, places we can't currently be, people we can't currently go and see. But on the flip side, there's an awful lot of positivity in the sense that there's time to have time for yourself, perhaps, spend more time with family members, do things that you haven't been able to do because the hecticity of life takes those moments away from you. So I just want to bring it back to that sense of gratitude in today's class. And just a quick note as well before we start, because I forgot to mention it yesterday. If you have any injuries, obviously please be really mindful today in the practice. If anything doesn't feel comfortable, doesn't feel good in your body, feel free to come out, take a seat. You can always come back to the breathing practice that we're going to have a go at doing in just a moment. Or you can just sit and watch and listen, so it's entirely up to you. So, to begin, without further ado, we're going to come to a comfortable seated position. So, perhaps if you have a blanket handy, or something else to bolster you, maybe a cushion or something you can place underneath your sit bones, come down to sitting. And feel free to take any kind of manner of cross-legged pose that feels good in your body. And if it doesn't feel good to sit in this way, maybe it's too intense in the hip joints, maybe it doesn't feel good on the knees, feel free to lie down if that's something you would prefer to do. Also, there's the option to sit down on a chair. So just find a way to be comfortable. At this point in time, it's not so much about how you look or the shape that you take on, but more about the practice that we're going to do and the breath work that we're going to begin to cultivate. So find yourself in a comfortable position, wherever that might be and whatever that might look like. And allow the hands to come to rest. If you're sitting down in whichever manner, allow them to come to rest with the backs of wrists on the knees. Or if you're lying down, perhaps the hands can be on the floor either side of you. And we're going to place the fingers in what is known as chin mudra. So the first finger and thumb gently touching on both hands. The other fingers are splayed open. And chin in Sanskrit literally means consciousness. And what we're doing at the moment, the breath practice that we're going to be working on, is consciously drawing the breath into the body. So find yourself in this position. Allow the hands to be heavy. Allow the sit bones, if you're seated, to ground down into the blanket or into the ground, wherever you are. So find that connection, that contact with the floor. And find yourself sitting up tall in the body. So feel the top of the head beginning to rise up, as if someone's gently lifting it off your shoulders. Keep the shoulders nice and easy and loose. I will begin, as we normally do in my practices, by taking 3 deep breaths. So with every inhale, we're going to feel that sense of extension as the top of the head draws up, and that sense of expansion as we inhale, inflate the chest, inflate the belly. So take a deep breath in through the nostrils. Feel that sense of extension, expansion. Gently open the mouth. Slide the breath into the room and feel a gentle softening in the body, that sense of heaviness, that quality of restfulness as the body grounds down. 2 more times. Deep breath in through the nostrils. Open the mouth. into the room. And one more time, perhaps in your own time. Nice long breath out. Brilliant. And from where you are, as we've centered ourselves, allow ourselves to ground ourselves down. Allow the eyes perhaps to close if that's comfortable. Allow the lips to touch if that's comfortable. And we'll begin to tap into our Ujjayi breath. So in yoga, the sound of the ocean, the breath of the ocean. And it's a breath that involves breathing in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. And the voice, the sound of the breath, is gently audible. So the breath sounds a little bit like this, if you can hear me. So deep, full breaths into the body. Long breaths out of the body. And with every in-breath, the lungs fill to capacity, without strain, without any tightness. And as we breathe out, the breath leaves the body in a continuous stream, emptying the lungs completely. So consciously breathing in this way, taking deep, full, wide breaths in, long, slow breaths out, can begin to help us tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, tap into our sense of rest and digest, that sense of calm and collectedness. And with every in and out breath, perhaps noticing that the body and the mind begins to slow down, finding space, finding room. And in this way, as you're breathing in your current position, wherever you are, we'll begin to draw our mind towards a meditation, some thoughts on gratitude, and being thankful for what we have currently in this time and this place. So slowly begin to allow the attention of the mind to draw itself to the people that you have in your life currently. Draw your mind to those that you've had any interactions with today, those who you've encountered throughout the course of perhaps the last 12 hours, so people that you've been in contact with. Allow gratitude for these people in your life in as you breathe in the next inhale. And allow that gratitude to permeate the body, fully breathing into the belly. And then as you exhale, allow this thankfulness to permeate the room and the space around you. Then gently draw your mind towards the opportunities for learning that you've had today. Any of those encounters that have borne fruitful knowledge, or perhaps helped you to learn something different, no matter how small or big. On the next breath in, allow gratitude for these encounters, these opportunities to draw themselves into the body, permeate the body slowly. And as you breathe out, exhale that sense of thankfulness, that gratitude into the space around you. Slowly begin to draw the attention of the mind towards any wonders, delights or surprises that may have unfolded today, been gifted to you in one form or another. And then the next in-breath, slowly begin to show gratitude for those opportunities, those surprises. Allow that sense of gratitude to permeate the body as you take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, allow that thankfulness to permeate the room around you. Slowly release the air from the body. And finally, slowly allow the mind to enter into the body. Notice those areas in the body where you feel calm, relaxed, at ease, tranquil. On the last breath in, slowly begin to show that gratitude, that sense of positivity and thankfulness to the fact that you have been able to show up on the mat today, that you've been able to take part in today's class. Allow that sense of thankfulness to permeate the body as you take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, allow that sense of gratitude out into the room, out into the world. And on that note, taking a last full, deep, wide breath in, fill the lungs to capacity. As you exhale, allow the mouth to open, send the breath out into the room. And then when you're ready, slowly opening the eyes, slowly reaccustoming the eyes back into the light, gently releasing the hands. And we'll allow that sense of gratitude, that sense of thankfulness to continue to permeate the class today. And we'll continue to draw back on that sense of gratitude throughout the practice. So as you are, gently releasing the blanket from underneath you, or coming down to the mat if you're sitting elsewhere, or sitting up if you're lying down. And we're actually going to come back to lying down, so I apologise actually. So we're going to turn ourselves so that we are facing the short edge of the mat. We're going to come back to lying down on our back. So slowly making your way down towards the ground. And we'll begin today by taking some releasing movements for the lower back and opening out some of the muscles in the groin area. So we're going to work into happy baby pose first. So Ananda Balasana, it sounds great. So taking a deep breath in, resting the body, the back of the head on the ground. We're going to draw the knees in towards the chest. And begin to point the soles of the feet up towards the sky. From here, we're going to reach in between the legs, catch hold of the arches of the feet. And taking one last deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly begin to draw the knees in towards the armpits. So the soles of the feet are pressing up towards the sky. We've got the knees tracking down towards the armpits as they are here. So notice in this position, if you can get the back as close to the ground as possible, we want to find that contact. Press down through the tailbone and tuck the chin in simultaneously to draw the back of the neck towards the ground. So finding ourselves, our spine laying against the floor, making as much contact as possible. Draw the knees closer towards the armpits, and at the same time, notice if the toes are turned out towards the side, so they're externally rotating. Can you draw the toes in towards the midline so they're pointing more behind you? So finding yourself in this position gives us a chance to decompress the lower spine. For those of us that have been sat all day, those of us that might not be used to sitting all day, especially if you're in the teaching profession, this can be quite a nice release for the lower back. And beginning as well to work into the muscles of the groin, the inner thigh, the backs of the thighs. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And notice if you can find a little bit more softness and draw the knees down. There's the option to find a couple of moments of stillness here, or you can perhaps gently rock the body from side to side, so providing a gentle massage for the lower back, the lower spine. Maintaining that contact of the tailbone on the ground, so keep pressing down with the lower back. As you move or as you find that stillness, keep drawing the knees in towards the armpits. Take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly release the hands from the feet. We're going to draw the feet down towards the ground, keeping the knees bent for the moment. And we're going to catch hold of our strap. So if you have a strap handy, or if you have maybe a scarf or a belt, whatever you have available to you, we're going to leave that down. So staying on our backs, we're going to continue to lie down. We're going to keep our left knee bent and our left foot is still plugged into the floor. We're going to wrap the strap around the arch of the right foot. And then keeping hold of the strap with both hands, perhaps settling the shoulders down as far as possible, letting the arms be heavy. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to draw the knee closer towards the chest. And as we do so, we're going to flex the foot, keep pressing the heel away. As you inhale, we're going to lengthen the leg, press the heel away, continue to draw the foot up as you keep the weight on the foot as well. So we're lengthening slowly through the backs of the legs, begin to stretch out the calves, the hamstrings. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, press the foot away. Keep flexing that foot. One more time, exhale, draw the knee back in towards the chest. Inhale, press the heel away. And from here, we're going to lengthen through the left leg. So releasing the left foot from the floor, we're going to begin to straighten out towards the end of the mat, keeping the left foot flexed, so pressing the heel away, keeping the right foot flexed, pressing that heel away, and finding ourselves beginning to work into the backs of the right leg. So option here, if it's uncomfortable, you can always keep the knees bent. Option to keep your left foot on the floor if that's more comfortable. But you can begin to slowly press that right heel away, and you can increase or decrease the intensity of the pose. So the closer towards your head you draw the leg, the more intense the stretch. The further away towards the back of the mat that you press the heel, the less intense the stretch. So find a position that works for you, and be thankful that you are where you are. It might not be how advanced you'd like to be in the pose, but the fact that you're here and practicing is good enough. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly bend that right knee. We're going to release that foot to the floor. Maybe just give a hug in. Gentle twirl. Drop the right foot to the ground. We're going to bring the left foot in. So strap around the arch of the foot. And we put it around the arch because that helps us to maintain that flexion of the foot, that dorsiflexion, rather than pointing the foot if it was on, say, the heel. So finding that contact on the arch of the foot. So keep hold of the strap with both hands. Exhale, draw the knee towards the chest. Inhale, press the heel away. Flex that foot. Begin to feel the stretch of the back of the hamstring, back of the leg. In, exhale, drop the knee down. Inhale, press away. Nice long breaths. Exhale, drop the knee down. Inhale, press the heel away. Maintain the contact with the hands, allow them to be heavy. And then slowly begin to straighten the right leg out. So pressing the right heel away towards the end of the mat. Keeping the left heel pressed away as well. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, perhaps there's a little bit more room to draw the foot further up towards you. So really working into the back of that leg. If there's any discomfort, if anything doesn't feel right, feel free to come straight out. And take it nice and slow. One last deep breath in. Exhale, gently bend that left knee. Release the foot from the strap. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a gentle hug, a gentle rock and roll. And then from here, we're going to straighten the left leg out. We're going to keep the right knee bent for a moment, and we're going to place the strap back around the arch of the right foot. So I'm going to use what we've just done. Option again to keep that left knee bent if that's more comfortable, but keeping that left foot flexed. We're going to place the left hand onto the hip point on the left side. The left hand comes to rest there. On the next breath in, begin to straighten the right foot, and we're going to keep our right hand on the strap, holding our foot in place. Now there is an option, if it's accessible to you, to catch hold of the big toe with your peace fingers. So first 2 fingers and thumb around the big toe and press. If it's accessible to you, press the heel away. If that's uncomfortable at all, if it doesn't feel right, please feel free to use the strap. So taking a deep breath in here. As we exhale, we're going to keep our left hand on the hip points as we begin to draw the right foot out to the side, our gaze turns towards the left. The moment you feel your left hip beginning to raise from the ground, stop there. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take it back out to the side. Keep your contact of the left glute on the floor. Did Ben get in touch?
Yeah.
Oh, someone's at the door.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, the camera's been offline for 10 minutes.
Yeah, our internet went. Okay, there you go.
No, I won't. Are you filmed? You doing it again?
Yeah, did you want that? Is that okay?
I see Dad. Max can see you.
Okay. Okay, cool. Sorry guys, the internet went down.
Should we finish it off?
Yeah, you can finish
We
it.
can all see you now. Thanks.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. Where's
I'll
the
stay
overalls?
here. I've hotspotted off my phone. It's the internet's gone, so
How about you just?
I'll stand outside.
Please, just.
People keep worrying.
How about you just leave your phone?
It's alright. You got it.
Cool. Sorry, guys. Right, let's carry on. Okay, perfect. Cool. So, where were we? Yes, back on.
The spreading leg bit.
That's very nice. So, coming back to lying down on the ground. Right, we'll try and pick up from where we left off. So, coming back to lying on the ground, and we were going to, so we finished off with the previous pose, we're going to move on to the next part. So, drawing the right ankle onto the left thigh. We're going to come into a figure 4 stretch, so beginning to work into some of the glute muscles and also into the piriformis muscle, which runs underneath the glute region. And for people that have been sat down all day, can become quite tense. So we're going to try and work into that a little bit more. So pressing the knee away of your on your right leg. So press the right knee away. Take a deep breath in. We're going to reach the right arm between the legs. Left arm comes around. I'm going to interlace the fingers behind that left knee. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, allow the head to drop back towards the ground. Press down through the lower back and find the contact of the spine on the ground. So allowing the arms to be heavy, slowly beginning to draw the left leg in towards the body. Keep slowly pressing the right knee away, keeping the feet flexed as they are here. So you should begin to start to feel a stretch through the right glute region. To begin to exacerbate that stretch, if this isn't quite doing it for you, you can always interlink, instead of interlacing the fingers, you can catch hold of the opposite wrists and allow the arms to draw the legs in a bit closer towards the body. So it should begin to increase the stretch there. Take a deep breath in. A nice long breath out. Option to stay here as you are, or to begin to also work into the left hamstring. Begin to straighten the left leg out. So pressing the heel away from the foot from the body, so dorsiflexing the foot. And from here you can begin to walk the hands up towards the left foot, so as far as comfortably possible. Or again, you can use the strap to help you, perhaps hooking it around the foot, and the knee bent to help you get there. And then resting the arms, allow them to be heavy. Draw that left leg in towards the body. And keep flexing the foot away. Feel the stretch through the back of the leg. So you'll begin to work into the calf muscle, the left hamstring, and also the piriformis muscle, the glutes on the right hand side. Quite a lot going on. Take it easy. If it doesn't feel good, feel free to keep that leg bent. Keep the hands around the back of your left knee, or even use a strap if that's more comfortable. So wherever you are, make yourself as comfortable as you can. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly lower the left foot down to the ground. Unhook your right ankle. We'll take it gently towards the other side. So bringing feet onto the floor, we're going to lift the left foot off the ground. Place the left ankle onto the right thigh and slowly press that knee away. Okay. From here, take a deep breath in. Release the head from the floor. Reach the hands forward so the left hand comes between the legs. The right hand comes around the outside of the right thigh. And either interlacing the fingers or catching hold of the opposite wrist. As you breathe out, gently release the head to the floor. You can always place maybe a block or a blanket underneath the head to support it. And also again, option to use a strap instead of your hands around the back of your right leg. Keep pressing your left knee away to deepen the stretch. And then remaining as you are, or option to begin to work into the right hamstring, the right calf. Begin to lengthen the right leg. Keep pressing the heel away. Okay, flex the foot. And then slowly lifting the head, the upper shoulders off the ground. Begin to walk the hand towards the right foot, as far as is comfortable. And then as you slowly exhale, allow the head to come back down to the ground. Let the arms be heavy. Keep flexing the foot, so you'll feel that stretch through the back of the right leg. There's lots going on in this pose. We've got lots of stretching going on through the backs of the legs. For those of you like me that have been sitting all day, so there's a chance to begin to stretch out a little. Deep breath in. Long breath out. And then gently releasing the next out breath. Allow the grip to release off your right leg. Slowly lower the foot down to the floor, unhook the left ankle. An option perhaps just to draw the knees in towards the chest if that feels comfortable. Maybe take a small rotation or hug the knees in, whatever feels good. Just taking a moment for yourself. And then on the next breath in, and when you're ready, no rush, no haste, slowly making your way up to sitting. And from here we're going to roll straight over the knees to come to all fours. So planting the hands down, rolling over the knees. Take a step back so you can see me. And coming roughly into all fours, so into our tabletop. I'm just going to adjust the laptop because I realise you're not going to be able to see me otherwise. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so from here, tucking the toes under, we're going to come into down facing dog, but we're going to work again through the backs of the legs. So making the movement a bit more dynamic. So tuck the toes under, spread the fingers wide, press down through the hands, and as you take an in-breath, begin to lift the knees off the floor, draw the belly into the spine, and then come to rest the belly onto the thighs, press the tailbone back, shooting it towards the back corner of the room. As you exhale, then begin to lengthen through the backs of the legs, draw the heels down. Inhale again, we'll take it 2 more times through the movement. So bend the knees, draw the thighs towards the chest, shoot the tailbone back. Exhale, release the heels to the floor, beginning to work into the hamstrings. Inhale, one last time, bend the knees, shoot the tailbone back, really draw that length through the spine, and then as you exhale, drop the heels down. Brilliant. From here, maybe take a moment to walk through the heels, maybe wag the tail. Be thankful for the range of motion you can do today. And then on the next breath, option to stay where you are, but begin to lift the right foot from the floor, point the foot towards the ceiling, press the left heel down, and open the right hips up to the side of the room. Exhale, bend that right knee, and we're going to step the knee through the hands as we come again into deer pose like we practiced yesterday. So dropping the right thigh towards the floor, and we're going to start to bend that left knee, so drawing the left shin forward, the left thigh ahead. So the setup for deer pose, like we practiced yesterday, is to roughly get the shin of the right foot in line with the front edge of your mat, and the shin of your left leg roughly parallel to the long edge of the mat here. So finding yourself in a comfortable position in this way, press the right sole of the foot against the left thigh, and what you'll notice is that the weight is primarily on your right side. Your left glute will be floating. So to help you, might be nice to get your blanket again, place it underneath the left glute to help you bolster yourself, find that connection again with the ground. Find yourself in this position set up. So take a breath in, press the hands into the knees, draw the top of the head up, and find that length in the body. Allow the shoulders to release if they're coming up. And then as you exhale, you can stay here as you are, or you can begin to pad the hands forward. So maybe the hands come down to the ground ahead of you. Perhaps you drop the forearms to the floor, or perhaps the hands walk out and you allow the forehead to come down towards the ground or wherever is comfortable. So deer pose in this sense is a less intense form of pigeon, in that we've already done some work opening through the hips, opening through the groin muscles, and this helps to get us a bit deeper into this pose, but without having to do all the quad work required for pigeon. So perhaps wherever you are at the moment, taking a moment to take a breath. And just as you gently exhale, release the breath into the room, feel the muscles softening. On the next in-breath, slowly beginning to press the heels of the hands into the floor, walk the body back upright, and then from here planting the hands back into the ground, shifting your blanket if you've got one, out the way. We're going to roll onto the right knee, come back into tabletop position, so all fours, and from here we'll work back into downward facing dog, so tucking the toes under, spreading the fingers wide, pressing down through the pads of each hand. Take a deep breath in, we're going to bend the knees up towards the stomach, towards the chest, send the tailbone back, exhale, lengthen the legs, press the heels down. Inhale, bend the knees, shoot the tailbone back. Exhale, release the legs, heels come down. One last time, inhale, bend the knees, really press the tailbone up towards the sky, and then exhale, release the heels to the floor. On the next breath, we're going to lift the left foot from the ground this time, drawing the left foot up to the sky, opening the hip towards the left side of the room. And then exhale, we're going to bend that left knee, draw the left knee between the hands. So coming into deer pose on the other side. Good turn around. There we go. So again, a setup. So we're trying to keep our left shin parallel to the front of the mat, our right shin parallel to the long edge of the mat. Press the right thigh into the left sole of the foot. Find that connection between the legs. Take a deep breath in, press that left sit bone into the floor, and perhaps again using your blanket bolster your right sit bone, your right glute down. Deep breath in, raise the head. Find that length in the upper body. As you exhale, drop the hands perhaps to the floor if that's comfortable. Option to lower to the forearms, option to stretch all the way out, allow the head to come down towards the ground. So find an option that works in your body, wherever feels good. And we're feeling a stretch again through the back of the left thigh, working again into the inner thigh of the left leg. And perhaps noticing that on one side, the position feels a little bit different to the way it does on the other. Perhaps tighter, perhaps looser. And recognising that we are not made in absolute equality. So one side may well feel different, may well not feel exactly the same as the other. On the next breath in, slowly beginning to release the head from the floor if it's down there, pressing the hands into the floor and walking the palms back to come back up to sitting. And from here, we'll take ourselves into child's pose. So a couple of options here. Gently release the knees from the ground, coming back towards the back of your mat. So as we come into child's pose, perhaps sending the knees slightly wider than mat width, if that's comfortable. Sitting the hips down towards the heels, and then when you're there, slowly begin to walk the hands slightly further ahead, allowing the head to draw down towards the ground. And if that's uncomfortable, we've done quite a lot of inner thigh work, hip opening work, so perhaps this position might feel quite good for you. If it doesn't, if you need a bit of support, you can always use a couple of cushions or blankets to help bolster you. So you can come to sitting and kneeling almost with a couple of blocks or a blanket under the sit bones to support you. So if you find that your hips are quite high and you can't get them down quite low enough, you can come into a position like this, and then as you exhale, option to walk the hands forward so you're resting your seat on a block or on a support. So finding yourself in child's pose, and perhaps if stretching the arms ahead doesn't feel good in your body, there's the option to wrap the arms around towards the feet. It can feel quite nice, turning one cheek towards the floor. Or perhaps tucking the arms in between the legs so that the left hand reaches towards the left heel, the right hand reaches towards the right heel, and you're drawing the shoulders in towards each other. So curling in on yourself in child's pose, again perhaps turning the face to one side. So whichever position you find yourself in, come back to your breath for the last few moments of the class. We'll take our Shavasana in this position, in child's pose. So returning back to the sound of your breath. Returning back to the feel of the breath in the body. Noticing whether the feel of every breath in, every breath out could be slowed down just that little bit more. Noticing perhaps if the sound of the breath has dropped out, can you make the breath a little bit more audible? So tapping back into your Ujjayi breath. And perhaps if your face is facing in one direction, maybe taking a moment just to turn the face in the other direction to stretch out the other side of the neck. And as you are in child's pose, just for the last few moments, I have a poem that I'd like to share with you. Something I found online, actually, about gratitude. It's a poem by Jodie Lynn. Gratitude plants the most stubborn of seeds. Some try to pull it out by the root, yet it grows again for free. And if you let it bloom, it will show even the blind how to see. On that note, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Slowly release the hands from between the legs or from around you, pressing up through the palms, coming back to seated slowly. And wherever you are, perhaps sitting cross-legged, perhaps kneeling, perhaps on a chair or on a bolster, Take a moment to thank yourself for your practice today. Draw the hands together at heart center in prayer. Bow the head liberally. And give yourself thanks for your hard work, your efforts, your resilience, your practice. Namaste. I wish you all a lovely evening. Cool, thank you for that. Sorry about the technical difficulties, those of you that were watching, but thank you for persisting and not giving up. Hopefully there'll be another class on tomorrow about the same time, 6 o'clock, but I'll post on my Instagram and via WhatsApp the details of that, so please stay aware and tuned in. Thank you, have a lovely evening. Okay. Sorry. You just go. Is that three? I don't think so. No, I stopped the live stream. Okay. Thank you. No, it should be working. It's got worked. No, it should be. There should be 3 of them. That is. Yeah, how much is the 16? Yeah, do them all at the same time.
Probably come later.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Take care.
Should we see you after?
Yeah, I'll sort them out in a minute. Can you just check? I think I did press.
Stop. Okay.
Camera's still on, by the way.
Well, you ran out, the camera's still on.
Oh, no, I thought I stopped my stream.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, stream's finished.